Hi, how's everybody doing? And welcome to episode number 253 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and technology. That's with us, Geeks on Tour. And, we have so much fun with this. If you're on YouTube, go ahead, please subscribe. Click the bell to be notified that when we go live and things like that. It's a great thing to do. We're pushing 10,000. We're over.
Still going to take a little while.
Yeah, it'll take a little while. Chris always starts with a tip. Add text to photo borders using Snapseed. You want to go with that?
I love this tip. I do this all the time, and it's not easy anywhere else. It's easy with Snapseed. The reason I'm doing it this time, though, is because it's been broken for a while on the Samsung, and I just noticed the other day that it works again. So here's the tip. Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and in this video I want to show you how to add text to a border of a photo using the free Snapseed app. So I'm going to open up Snapseed. This happens to be a Samsung, but it works the same on an iPhone. And I tap the plus to open a photo. Or if you're using Google Photos, you can open the photo first and then go to Snapseed. See video number 699 on how to do that. I'm going to open this picture of Jim, and I want it to say Mr. Geek at the bottom, but I want it to be on a specific border on the bottom. To do that, I'll go to Tools and Expand. Now with Expand, you have a choice of the expanded area being black, white, or smart. I want to choose black. I drag that down, and I now have a black border. Check mark. Tools and Text. Double tap here to change text. Double tap. Now I have text to be replaced, and I type Mr. Geek and OK. Now I can move that down into the border. I like it. I tap the check mark. I export and save.
Great.
And that does work just fine now on my Samsung and on my iPhone.
But not on my Pixel.
That is so weird. The thing that was broken is when you go to drag the marker to to make a border, it just doesn't respond. It doesn't drag.
Yeah, my Pixel, it just doesn't move.
Hopefully it'll be fixed there soon too.
She'll make sure of it.
I'm quite encouraged.
Did you know that she's now a diamond level product expert? I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, we are Geeks on Tour. And do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about these iPhones and these tablets? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks, also known as propeller heads. But we are geeks who teach, and we think the best way to learn is in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. So we came up with this live show where we pick a topic and go into a little bit of depth, or as is the case today, we pick several topics and just give you a hodgepodge of tips. All of our content is collected on our website at geeksontour.com.
And visit that. So, Chris, where are we now?
Well, we are home now, but we've I still haven't unpacked from Indonesia, and we've been to Gainesville since then, but we have been home we were home long enough to actually go do an in-person web seminar. I almost said webinar because, it's been so long since we've done in person.
Yeah, we did that. It was a photography group up in Boynton Beach. Really nice folks.
Yes, it's about a half hour north of where we live, so.
And we've done computer club stuff at the same place and other places up there, but those kinds of things are kind of getting out of there.
So this time we did smartphone photography. Everybody had a smartphone, and I made them play with certain features, and they were into it. It was really fun.
Yeah.
But we are still recovering from our month-long trip to Indonesia and got to show you just this little video.
And this is something that Chris made with Canva.
Canva. I'm just trying their new video editor in Canva. One thing I still need to learn in Canva is how to fade to black or something like that. I know you can do it. I just couldn't figure out how on my first try. Two things in that video. If people are wondering what was that first critter that was fluttering by in the middle, that's one of my favorites. Cuttlefish.
Right.
And then what was that great big thing that I was swimming by and went, ah?
That was a whale shark.
Whale shark.
The largest fish in the ocean. And weren't you afraid of getting eaten?
Not at all. They only eat little tiny shrimp. They're filter feeders. They are not dangerous. You may have also noted a little icon in the lower left-hand corner of some of those pictures that said Dive.Plus. We'll be talking about that as one of our tips today.
My comments aren't working here.
Hello.
Yeah, we want to talk
to our live viewers.
Yeah, we have a few people out there. Bob Gustisha, it's here, but it's not going.
Not displaying.
To. Yeah, there we go. Bob, send some of our warmth in New Mexico. It's cold. Snow flurries.
Snow flurries.
Thank you. No, you can have it. Okay, Central Coast. Chris used to live there.
I used to live in Morro Bay, just down the hill from Templeton.
It's New York City, and it's kind of cool, but the flowers are in bloom. It's good to see you. Jolin's here from
Low Country, South Carolina. South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay. Yeah.
Maurice.
It's warm and clear in New Jersey. That's nice. Debbie Diver. Hi.
Good to see you.
Yep. Anyone confirm that Google Photos reliably operates syncs in major ports in the Mediterranean? I would say that it probably does.
I would say that Google Photos does whatever you give it an internet connection to do. So it's how are you going to connect to the internet? There's all sorts of Wi-Fi. I'm sure it's fine.
Right. Okay. Kalamazoo. Fort Lauderdale, our neighbor. Dave Gottdiner. Great to see you. Hellsburg. And we're done with all of that. So let's go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you to our premium members.
That's right.
Premium means that they pay.
They give us money to support us, and they make our work possible. And if you want to become a member, you can do that at geeksontour.com/join now.
And we have lots of member benefits.
One of the member benefits is the backstage pass. Right after this show, we have a Zoom meeting with our premium members. They're all invited. You get the link. Chris sends out an email. earlier today, and it's also on our website on our member login page. You can click the link there to get in, and it's a great thing to do. All right, the HodgePodge. You ready to get started?
A HodgePodge.
I like HodgePodges.
I do
I just
too.
like saying the word.
Yeah, they're fun. I don't have to really make a lesson teaching. I just say, here's a tip, here's a tip, here's a tip. Today's tips, we already did number 1, which was the text on the photo border. Next, I'm going to do a little tip on OneDrive folders. Then I'm going to show you this Dive.Plus app for color correcting underwater photos and videos. We're going to talk about how you can actually take underwater photography with your phone. Then we want to demonstrate Magic Eraser. It really is magic on Google Photos. Reflection Eraser on a Samsung Gallery. How to change your LastPass master password. And what is Tech for Seniors? A Zoom meeting every Monday. OneDrive. So this is one of those rare times. We're usually doing everything on the phone, and there is OneDrive on the phone, so it relates. But this tip is just about your OneDrive folders on a Windows PC. And I came up with this is something that I do regularly, or every so often, and I always forget how to do it. So I think I made this video for me to remember how to do this.
I can use it too.
If you're using a Windows computer with Windows 10 or 11, odds are you're using Microsoft OneDrive, and you may have collected a lot of folders within your Microsoft OneDrive folder. I'm Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and I want to show you how you can manage those folders. First, just a little bit of context about OneDrive. Windows 10 and 11 computers all come with a OneDrive folder preset up on the computer. What you need to know is that OneDrive folder on your computer is what I call a magic folder. When you save a file in that folder, it is automatically uploaded to your OneDrive account in the cloud, your Microsoft account, and it's at onedrive.live.com. Also, if you save or change a file on the cloud side in OneDrive in the cloud, it's automatically synced to your computer. What if you don't want it on your computer? That's what I'm going to show you. First, I'll show you my account in the cloud. I just go to a browser, type in onedrive.com. Notice it changes to onedrive.live.com. And I am logged in with my Microsoft account, and I can look at my files. I've been using OneDrive a long time, and I have a lot of folders. Notice I have 564 gigabytes used out of 1 terabyte that I get because I subscribed to Microsoft Office. So here are all my folders. And notice all these that are a year and a month. This is a system I've developed over the years to give me a place to put my working files. And notice it goes all the way back to 2015, 2016, all of these folders. I don't want them taking up space on my computer. Let me show you my computer. I go to my File Explorer on the computer, and under this PC, C Drive, Users, and Chris, there is a OneDrive. You should find a similar folder in under your username on your computer, but it also has a shortcut to it. I'll show you in a minute. So I look at my OneDrive, and here are all my monthly albums. Notice I don't go back to 2015. I only go back to 2020 and mostly 2022. I don't want to have years and years worth of all this stuff on my computer. I could just delete it, but I guess I'm kind of a hoarder. I never know if I might want something, so I want to leave it in the cloud, but not have it on my computer. So I'm going to show you how I will remove these first ones from 2022. Step 1, find the OneDrive icon in your sys tray, the tools at the lower right corner of your screen. It's this little cloud. and I want to go into Settings and Settings. First, there's one main setting that needs to be on for this to work, and it's under Advanced, and it's called Files on Demand. Save space on your device and download files as you use them. So that needs to be on. Now, to specify the folders I want or don't want, you go to Account and choose Folders. Notice that all these from past years are unchecked, so they live in the cloud and they are not taking up space on my computer. And I want to do the same with the 2022. So I'm going to uncheck the first half of 2022 and OK. If I go back to my File Explorer on my computer and I get to my OneDrive, notice it is the first shortcut up here. You can still always get to it with this PC, C, Users, Chris, and OneDrive, but I also have it as a shortcut just called Chris Personal. Look at the little OneDrive cloud icon. And voila, it starts with, well, this 2020-06 has something special in it, but for 2022, I now do not have January, February, March through June. That is how you choose which folders to sync. You open the OneDrive icon in your sys tray, you click on Settings and then Account and choose Folders, and you can check or uncheck the boxes for the folders that you want or don't want. That will be reflected in the location on your PC specified as your OneDrive folder. In my tray, why not? Well, you might have exited, you might have closed the OneDrive operations, which means there is no syncing going on. To reopen it, you would go to your Start menu and search and just type OneDrive. And when you enter it, it will start up again and you will see the cloud icon in your lower right-hand corner.
Okay.
Hope that helps.
All right.
So that's OneDrive, and yeah, I hope y'all got the idea there. There's lots of cloud storage services. I mean, Google Drive, Dropbox, Box, but OneDrive is meant to work with your Windows computer, so it just makes it so easy to have files in the cloud and on your computer or not, as you should choose. So I showed you, I have 586 gigabytes. Well, the hard drive on my computer is only 500 gigabytes. So I certainly don't want all of that on my computer, but I can bring stuff down or remove it. I still have everything in the OneDrive cloud. It's really kind of sweet, but it's a lot to understand. If you want to really understand it, no. But you can just make it work. All right, now from that kind of boring
now to
stuff,
some fun stuff.
Now to some fun
this
stuff.
This is really cool. This is stuff underwater photos Dive.Plus app, and it's an app that we learned about while we were on this trip to in Indonesia. So it was. It has a free version, but there's a pay for it. It's just like $30 a year, I think. It's cheap.
not expensive
much
at all.
But if you don't care if there's a watermark there and it's just small, you might have seen it on some of the video that we played earlier from Indonesia. So it'll color correct your photos and your videos. Now you can do this with whatever editing tool you have, but not as good as this.
It would be a lot of work, and I've tried on both Snapseed and Google Photos to make a photo look as good.
And I can't do it with Filmora. That's pretty much a professional grade.
And Dive.Plus does it in one click.
And so why bother?
Yeah. So first, let me just show you what is Dive.Plus. Where would you find it? Now, I know that not all of you are underwater photographers,
But this is so cool.
but I know a few of you are, and it's still just something to be aware of. It's so wow. The
Yeah,
wow
an
factor.
add-on app, and there are a lot of them out there. So, yeah.
So, Dive.Plus. It's Dive.Plus. You're not seeing that. You're not seeing the address
I don't
bar.
see the address
Okay,
bar.
well, if you just go to Dive.Plus, there's no .com, .org, anything. It's Dive.Plus, and you will see it, and it will show you how you can get the app in the App Store or the Google Play. Now, it does a lot more than just color correction of photos. It's a dive app. It's a social network amongst divers, and it's a dive log and all sorts of stuff. All we've used it for is the
Color correction.
color correction. So let me show you that. I downloaded just the free version on my iPhone. So that's what I'm going to show you. So iPhone, and there's the app right there, Dive.Plus. Okay. Now, as I say, it does all sorts of things. So a diver from the United States asks you a question. It's this whole social network. But I'm not going to do any of that. It's a community. It's a photo and video sharing site where you share dive photos. But I'm just going to go to the color correction. There's photos and video. First, I'll show you underwater photos.
Photos.
Photos. And there's a bunch here. I'm going to look at this one of a turtle. So you can see that. It is so blue that you can hardly see the turtle. Now, hold my beer. Watch this. All I have to do is tap this one button that says correct colors. Is that amazing or what? Now, it would be better on the bigger screen, but still. And you can see what the original looked like. There's the original. There is the one tap color corrected.
Amazing.
Wow.
It's truly amazing.
Yeah, just wow. But let me show you just a couple other examples. So here's one of Jim.
Hey.
Underwater. And it's a little blue, color correct. And now his skin looks like real skin again. And there's some definition there. And right next to him, this you can hardly even see. There's these big black shadows in there. And those are manta rays. Those are giant manta rays.
Devilfish.
I just one tap on correct colors, and you see them much better. Now, as I said, this is a tiny little screen, and, it does look actually even better than that. Notice that it puts this little Dive.Plus logo on it. But if you're willing to pay, I think it was $39. And anyway, it was
$29, I think.
$29 for a whole year to be able to use it. Then you get rid of that watermark, and it does this fabulous color correction. I can still bring this photo into Google Photos or Snapseed and do whatever other edits that I want. And just one last one. Towards the bottom here, we have some pictures of the cuttlefish.
I love cuttlefish.
I do. I describe them like an elephant with a tutu on. But this looks like just a green blob. Color correct. There.
Right away.
Now you see the cuttlefish. You can see its eye right there. And it's not just photos. It does this with videos as well. So let me back up and choose underwater video. And this one right here. So let me play just the regular video for you. Schools of fish is some of the most magical things to see underwater, and there's gorgeous corals. But watch when I do a one-tap color correction.
So much better.
The first time I saw, I hope that your jaws are dropping, because mine sure did the first time I saw it. So that is Dive.Plus as a underwater photo and video color correction, one tap color correction service. Yeah, Debbie Diver says, wow. I was thinking of you when I put this in today. But there's more. Underwater photos with a smartphone? Wow. What do you think?
True. I'm not sure that the housing will fit my Pixel, but it'll definitely fit your Samsung. And yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I do not take photos underwater. And I like to take photos, but when I'm underwater, I figure I have enough other things to pay attention to. I'm just a tourist. I'm just a sightseer. I'm really glad that Jim takes the GoPro, just a little video camera.
Yeah, I'm not serious photographer, underwater photographer. That just costs too much money. If I was younger, maybe, and I had more money, then maybe it would. But no, I just want to document and kind of log our dives, especially the exotic dives.
And that video that you saw there, and some of the photos came from his GoPro.
Right.
You do have a little light, don't you?
I do have an LED, underwater LED, so there is a light, but I don't always use it. And so...
But if I could just take my phone down and snap with my phone, and one thing that your phone can do that the GoPro can't is zoom in.
Right. And automatically upload to Google Photos.
Automatically upload to Google Photos.
And you have all of those editing tools. It's just, yeah, I want that. I would give up the GoPro.
So $325. So these two photos here were from a woman who was on our trip. Her name is Anna Barnes, and it was an iPhone. I think she had an iPhone 14, and she had this underwater housing. She did have it with a frame that had two lights on it.
She had some lighting.
But it was still a lot smaller than the big camera rigs and the huge lights that most underwater photographers have. So I don't know if I will. It's kind of nice to not think about taking pictures when I'm underwater, but if you want to get one, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I want to make sure that my phone fits it before I actually go in there and do that.
And there are lots of underwater housings for phones, but this one is by a company called Kraken, and it's who we actually saw this in action and saw the pictures from it. So
yeah, and they make good rum.
Kraken, yeah.
Release the Kraken.
So June said, did you see the correct colors with your eyes? Well, I think so.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
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 Well,
sure.
but no. I mean, as you go deeper, no, you don't. As you go deeper,
Your
the reds
eyes,
are gone. It gets more blue and blue.
You need extra light. That's why people take lights.
Take these huge lights down with them.
Expensive lights.
Huge and expensive lights, yeah. So no, unless you shine a light on it, your eyes do not see those colors.
Right.
All right, next.
Magic Eraser.
Magic Eraser. They've been doing advertising. You've probably seen a commercial on it, but Magic Eraser started out only available on the Pixel. It is now available for all phones, not just Pixels. So we want to show you. I'm going to use my Samsung for this one, but it does work just the same on the iPhone. So this is a Google Photos. Oh, you do need to be a paid subscriber. If you are just using the free Google Photos 15 gigabyte account, then you will see this option when you go into edit, but it won't work. it will say, hey, you need to pay if you want to have this option. There's lots of editing tools that are for paid subscribers only. Now, being paid subscriber is only $2 a month. You know, it's worth it. It is worth it for these tools. Okay, see if you agree. Watch this. So I go into Google Photos, and here's a photo. Okay. Yeah, here's a photo of us on the beach, and notice those two people in the background. Yeah, I'll need to bring it up a little bit here. I tap on Edit, and then Magic Eraser appears right away if it's a photo that is appropriate for Magic Eraser. But if it doesn't, then it's under the Tools. It's under Tools, and you'll notice a multicolored 1. That means you must be a Google One subscriber. That's what I was talking about, minimum $2 a month, in order for this feature to work. All I have to do is tap Magic Eraser. It investigates the picture, and it says, I'll bet you would like to have those people in the background gone. Notice how the people in the background have been outlined. I tap Erase All, and they're gone.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is way cool. Okay, I'm gonna just back out of that though. So, and then the next example is this one. This was a picture we took in Bali of a statue that was awesome.
Can you lighten up your screen a little? Your screen.
Okay. Oh, where's my... There we go. Very good.
So
better?
Much better. Yes.
Better? Okay. Sorry. So I want to get rid of this guy. This is not a friend. This is just somebody that got into my picture.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah. So I'll tap Edit, and I'll tap Magic Eraser. But you'll see the suggestions that it finds is not what I wanted. Since this guy is so big, it thinks that that's somebody who belongs in the picture, and it wants to delete these other folks. No, that's not what I want. So what I do is I just rub over him. And notice I am not exactly outlining him, but Magic Eraser does exactly outline him and gets rid of him. All right. And the last one is probably the most amazing, and that is telephone wires, telephone or electric wires or whatever. It totally ruins this photo of a beautiful doorway. And so all of these wires, Edit, and now Magic Eraser doesn't come up right in the beginning here. So I'll scroll over to Tools, and there's Magic Eraser. And it will find all those telephone wires. It highlights them. I tap Erase All, and they're gone. But notice there's a couple little things that it didn't get a couple over here. Well, that's fine. I can just rub on that, and it goes away. Rub on that one. I'm not getting it quite right. There we go. And there's a little piece up in the sky here, and that one. So you can keep cleaning it up, but it does the bulk of the work for you. Now, I would still want to straighten and crop and do some other things, but my point is the Magic Eraser is just awesome. And that's it for Magic Eraser.
Removing reflections with Samsung's gallery.
Well, and this I happened upon by accident. So this is only Samsung. This is not Google Photos. This is Samsung Gallery. Now, I usually teach, even though you have a Samsung And Samsung Gallery is the pre-installed, recommended photo management app. I say just don't use it. Use Google Photos, because there's a lot to learn. You want to stick with one. However, every once in a while, you find a feature that one has that the other doesn't. So here is a feature that Samsung Gallery has that Google Photos does not have. And it's pretty cool, too. So here's what I'm talking about. I'm on my Samsung, of course. And I am not going into Google Photos. I am going into Gallery. And I have two samples of a reflection. So here is a picture I took through the windshield of the car I was in. And notice all this reflection and glare that is messing up the photo. Remember, once again, this is Samsung Gallery, so the edit button looks different. It's this little pencil. And I don't see any eraser items here. You tap the three dots, Object Eraser, and notice you have the ability to draw around anything you want to erase. That's kind of like Magic Eraser. But you also have the ability to erase shadows or erase reflections. Watch this. Boom. Is that nice? So all those reflections through the windshield that's blocking your view, they're gone.
I wish I could use that when I'm driving.
Oh, really? You mean when the sun's in your eyes and you
man.
can't see anything? Good idea. And here's just another example. I took a photo of the whiteboard that had our schedule for the day of diving, and it has these reflections that are blocking some of the text. Edit pencil, three dots, Object Eraser, and erase reflections. Much nicer. All right. That is remove reflections.
All right.
And we're doing good. I see, one other message there. It's showing up in purple. Larry says, you have
OneDrive and Dropbox. Why both?
Good question. Well, it's mostly a matter of timing and what is promoted. I mean, OneDrive is part of Windows, so it's not required, but it's highly recommended to use OneDrive if you're on a Windows computer. And Dropbox, I really like Dropbox. I also have Google Drive, by the way, and I use a lot of stuff in Google Drive. And yeah, someday I should probably rethink that and decide on one. However, right now we have our different purposes. Dropbox is our business server. You know, we share a Dropbox account. Everything to do with our business is there. Microsoft OneDrive is just an extension of my computer for whatever I want. So that's no particular reason. Maybe you should not do it, but that's what we're doing.
Okay. So Debbie says that she uses Dropbox for sharing videos and music with friends. So that's, yeah.
Right, for sharing. I really don't use OneDrive for sharing, although you certainly can. But OneDrive is just an extension of my hard drive, is the way I use it.
I need to figure out these colors. Thanks for Tech for Senior for the $20
Oh, and that's
chat.
before he even knows.
Oh, right.
Oh, or no, I guess I did announce it in the before he even knows that we're going to be promoting Tech for Senior here. One more. LastPass. Oh, do we have to talk about LastPass?
Yes, you do. I don't.
I really don't want to talk about LastPass. We taught LastPass in episode 205. It was a very popular password manager. And in today's world, with all the passwords we have to remember, a password manager is important. Unfortunately, LastPass has had several breaches in the last year. With the first or second one, everybody was still saying, nope, stick with LastPass. By the third or fourth one, some tech experts who I respect are saying it's time to switch. Nah, I'm not going to switch. I'm not going to switch. A password manager has a lot of stuff. It took a lot of work. And the problems with LastPass, nobody says that the problems have exposed any of your actual passwords and usernames, but it's exposed the websites that you visit, and you might therefore be getting lots of spam and scammers, reaching out. So if you know how to deal with spam and scam, I still say you're good. I also think that in general, companies that have gotten compromised are some of the better ones. And
because they're taking extra care, their safety, they have put in place safeguards, hopefully. So
yeah. So I have a lot of stuff in LastPass. And the thing about LastPass, it's not just passwords. There's these thing called secret notes that you can put anything in, like our passport numbers, the key codes for different locks on a storage unit, all sorts of things in there. And I don't want to switch. No, I don't want to switch.
It's just too much.
But I have updated my master password. And so I just want to show you, in case, well, if you're looking for a new password, if you're brand new, then yeah, based on the things I hear, you might want to avoid LastPass. You might want to go to 1Password or Dashlane. But for me, I'm sticking with LastPass. I did update my master password, and here is how you do that. I'm going to show you on my imaginary friend Alice's account. I just go to LastPass and log in. And you have to know the password. The username and the current password. And log in. Then to change the password, you just go up to the upper right and account settings. And here is where you change your master password. Before it lets you change your master password, you must prove once again that you know the old password. And then you get to type a new password. Now, what should this be? LastPass recommends that it be something like this R50$K2. The problem with those super secure passwords is you can't remember them. Passphrases are even better, as long as it's really long. So I've been finding a way to just think through my day. You can come up with several words, unrelated words, and write them. And then all you have to remember is kind of the first letter of each word to jog your memory. So that's what you would write down. So for example, today we've been talking about cuttlefish. So how about a master password that starts with cuttlefish? Then you need a special character. I'm going to do an exclamation point. Then you want another word, and I'll say magic. And then you want some numbers. So just come up with any 3 numbers. I'm saying 684. Now that, look how the strength, it says that that is a strong password. And yet, all you would have to do to remember it is, C for cuttlefish, exclamation point, M for magic, and 684. Or you get the idea. Unrelated words, a special character, and some numbers, and make it long. And that's how I do it. But yes, if you want to switch from LastPass to something else, good on you. I'm just not willing to. So that's that. And next, or last, and do we have time? Shall we skip this one?
Up to you.
It's just a minute. So here, just one other completely unrelated HodgePodge tip: searching a web page on mobile. Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and this quick tip is about finding something that is within a web page. You may know on a computer that you do a Control F to find content within a web page, but how do you do that on a phone? First, I want to show you on a computer so that you make sure you know what I'm talking about. So here we are at geeksontour.com, and if you click on our YouTube show, this page is a long page. It lists every YouTube show episode that we've done over the last 6 years, and there's a bit of a description with each one. Let's say you're looking for the show that we did about using your phone in an emergency, and you're scrolling and scrolling, you can't find it. What you do is on your keyboard, Control F. That opens up a search box, and you can type emergency, and it searches not the whole web, but just this page. And there we go. It was episode 163 that talked about how to use your phone in case of an emergency. So now, how do we do that on a phone? First, I'll use an Android phone and the Chrome browser. So I open up the Chrome browser, and I go to geeksontour.com. Now I need to go to that page, so under the menu and the YouTube show. And here's that same page with all 140, 90, whatever episodes. I want to search for emergency. 3-dot menu, find in page, and type emergency. And it finds episode 163. Now how about on an iPhone with the Safari browser? So Safari, geeksontour.com, menu, YouTube show. Now in here you tap the share button, or it's kind of an action button, the square with the up arrow in it, and scroll down and you will see find on page and emergency. I only had to type EMERG and it found episode number 163. I could tap the link and play it. And that's how you search within a page on phones.
Yep.
Just a little tip that I use often, so wanted to.
That's always good.
So you want to do this. At last but not least, do you want to learn even more than what you learned from Geeks on Tour?
There's a lot of resources out there, and a couple that we really recommend.
techforsenior.com. They do a Zoom meeting every Monday. It's noon on the East Coast. It's 9 a.m. on the West Coast. And I call it a variety show of tech tips. And you'll learn things there that we're never going to cover. Things like electric vehicles and solar panels and, well, just
geeky
a variety
Technology.
of geeky stuff. and it's for seniors. I mean, so you're not talking programmers and kids stuff. If you're at all interested, I highly recommend you go to their website. Now, what's their website?
techforsenior.com.
Not Tech for Seniors.
Yeah, they couldn't get that one apparently.
Apparently that was already taken, so they got techforsenior.com. Go there, scroll down, you'll see a way to sign up for their newsletter, and then you'll be apprised of what's going on and how you can join their Zoom meeting on Mondays.
Okay.
Toastmasters.
Oh, another thing that we really enjoy. And Toastmasters is, if you don't know about it, it's about public speaking, and we love that kind of stuff. And we've been members of our Toastmasters local club for many, many years, and we invite you, if you're up early on a Thursday morning, it's Early Bird Toastmasters. We start at 7 a.m. Eastern Time sharp. And we're usually starting a little bit earlier than that, but the official meeting starts at that time. If you're at all
and it's
interested,
a Zoom.
It's a Zoom.
It's a Zoom meeting, so
you can get in touch with us, and we'll get you on to that if you're interested.
Yeah, just we'd love to have you.
Any questions out there? Let's see. There are some questions or a couple of things out here. Let me get through it. Shared encrypted data.
So Norbert, a.k.a. Bob Gostisha, is saying that LastPass has shared your encrypted info. So if they ever figure out how to unencrypt, then they have it. Yeah, so you are one of those respected experts in security that I say, is not happy about LastPass and says we should use something else. I just say I'm not going to switch because, as you mentioned later on in there, it's a personal, I feel secure enough, especially when I change my password, and I'll change my password on other ones, on my other major sites as I go.
All right, I'll keep putting this up until you get it.
Okay.
Erase objects not show on a Samsung A51.
That very well could be. The A51 is a lower end phone, right? So it might not have. But just in case, I would make sure that you have the latest gallery. Make sure that your updates are done.
Okay. Jolin wants to know, do you use LP extensions in Chrome?
Yes, I do. And I use LastPass on my phones and tab. I use it everywhere. And we use it together. We have the family plan. So anytime he changes a password, I already get it because we both use LastPass. Once we have that all set up, I don't want to go in anything else.
Jolin agrees. One password and others work well with the amount of time you've spent. We say this pretty much the same thing. Yeah. Bitwarden is another one that works out there.
That's great.
And Bob says, yeah, it's your security. It's your choice. Absolutely. And we understand. Everyone should click. Absolutely. Do that.
Like us. Like us.
Follow us on Facebook. That kind of stuff. Another Bitwarden fan. Okay.
All right. Carl asks, the next question really, is the Find On page not available on Chrome on iPhone? Yes, it is. It just works the same way as it does on the Android, so I didn't repeat it. On the iPhone, if you are in Chrome, you tap the three dots and Find In page. If you are in Safari, you tap the Share the Action button and scroll down to Find In page.
Okay. Ron says, just starting our 4th year, Tech for Senior. Linda has LastPass. She's not going to change. What's the link for the Toastmasters meeting? We'll get back to you,
Yeah,
Mary.
just use the contact page on Geeks on Tour and let us know you're interested, and we'll send you an invite.
Okay. Both Geeks on Tour and Tech for Senior have many previous shows that may have basics not covered in later shows. Thanks, Bill. That's a great thing to remember. Bob says experts give advice. You either take it or leave it. True that. Okay. Rinsky's. Barb, is there a good tutorial about LastPass? She hasn't and she's confused. You're not alone.
Well, we did an episode. We did one of our episodes on it. Use that search on page in our YouTube show page, and you'll find the episode we did on LastPass.
And Detlef says there are several people following both Geeks on Tour and Tech for Senior. Visit Tech for Senior, and you'll feel
right at home. Yeah,
with all the folks who are here, and that's so true. Okay, well, did you learn something? I know I do. So, to create a black border at the bottom of a photo, use what app? Is it Google Photos, Samsung's Gallery, or Snapseed?
Snapseed.
Okay. OneDrive is A, cloud storage by Microsoft, B, a 1 terabyte external hard drive, or a navigation app?
A, cloud storage by Microsoft.
Okay. To visit Tech for Seniors website, go to A, techforseniors.com, B, techforsenior.com, or apcug.org.
B, techforsenior without an S.com.
And the password manager program for the Geeks use is A, 1Password, B, Dashlane, or C, LastPass.
We use C LastPass. That doesn't mean that we recommend it now, so the first two are good ones as well.
The app that color corrects underwater photos and videos is A, Dive Colors, B, Dive.Plus, C, Google Photos, or D, Samsung Gallery.
B, Dive.Plus is the website for it.
And true or false, Google Photos Magic Eraser is now available for all phones, not just the Pixel.
True, yay.
Yay.
However, I've discovered that it's not available on my iPad yet. So,
don't know about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the Backstage Pass. It is coming up right after this show. It's an online meeting using Zoom. And you get the link from email that Chris sent out earlier, or you can go right to our website, geeksontour.com/member login, and find it there, the member login. What's the webpage that lists all of our YouTube shows, Chris?
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is YouTube show.
And the menu item, or the webpage that lists all of our recent newsletters.
Geeksontour.com, the menu item is blogs and news. You'll see the entire archive of newsletters under there.
Oh, cool. And why do people pay $60 a year to join Geeks on Tour? It's not much.
We have lots of member benefits. You can ask us any questions on our Q&A page. We have the Backstage Pass, which is a private Zoom meeting. You get access to hundreds of Show Me videos and ebooks. Our Learn Google Photos book is available for members as a PDF. You get written notes of these button shows, and some people become a member just to say thank you for all the stuff they've learned for free.
True that. So become a member at geeksontour.com/join now. You can do that. Sign up for our free newsletters. There'll be links all over the place. You get all of these benefits and more. Subscribe to this channel, like us on Facebook, and do all those things that we want you to do. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we are Geeks on Tour. Thanks for watching.
See you in the next episode.
Whenever that is.
Whenever we decide to do it, yeah.
Okay.